In this video, we are going to discuss about electrophoresis of DNA. Now, DNA molecules are negatively charged and they migrate towards anode in a particular electric field. Okay, they are negatively charged and they migrate towards anode. Now, charge to mass ratio is same for all the DNA molecules, and that is the reason why the separation of DNA fragments occurs on the basis of the differences in their mass, size and shape. Okay, on the basis of the differences in mass, size and shape, the separation of DNA fragment occurs. Why? Because charge to mass ratio is same for all the DNA molecules. Now there are two common types of gel that we use to separate DNA, and that is polyacrylamide gel and agarose gel. Okay, polyacrylamide and agarose are the two common types of gel that we use for the separation purpose. Now this gel acts as a sieve to selectively impede the migration of DNA in proportion to its mass and size. Okay, the gel act as a sieve. Now larger DNA molecules move slow through the gel and small DNA molecules move fast through the gel. Now electrophoresis separates DNA molecules not only according to their mass or size but also according to their shape and topological properties. Okay, electrophoresis separate DNA molecules also on the basis of their shape and topological properties. Now DNA topoisomers have the same length but have different linking numbers. Okay, DNA topoisomers are the two DNA molecules which are of same length but they have different linking numbers. And even though the topoisomers have same mass, they can be separated by gel electrophoresis. The basis of this is greater the supercoiling, more compact the shape will be of the covalently closed circular DNA. And this covalently closed circular DNA is abbreviated as cccDNA. Okay, cccDNA means covalently closed circular DNA. So greater the supercoiling, more compact will be the shape of this cccDNA. And the more compact the DNA is, more easily it will migrate through the gel. So it also depends, the migration also depends upon the shape, the supercoiling, the compactness. The more compact a particular DNA molecule is, more easily it will migrate through the gel. Now the thing is that the relaxed cccDNA will migrate so slowly as compared to highly supercoiled form of that particular cccDNA which has same mass. Okay, the relaxed cccDNA will migrate slowly as compared to highly supercoiled form of the same circular DNA. So rate of migration of DNA through the agarose gel depends upon the applied voltage, then the size of DNA, then the conformation of the DNA, then the agarose concentration and the nature of buffer. Okay, these factors determine the rate of migration of the DNA through the agarose gel. So this diagram is representing the electrophoretic separation of the DNA topoisomers. Okay, so all of them are topoisomers. It means their length is same, their mass is same, but there is difference in the extent of supercoiling. For example, in lane C, this band is relaxed circular DNA. The supercoiling is not that compact. Okay, it is relaxed, in the relaxed state, and that is the reason why it is migrating so slow. And then in lane A, there is less supercoiled cccDNA. It means it is supercoiled but not that much, and that is the reason why it is migrating a little faster than this but little slower than this, and this is the highly supercoiled DNA. Okay, so this is highly supercoiled, and that is the reason why it is migrating at such a higher speed. Okay, so this is the least supercoiled, then this is less supercoiled as compared to this. It is less supercoiled as compared to this, but more supercoiled as compared to this, and this is the most supercoiled. Now, DNA molecules are invisible to the naked eye, but they can be seen in the gels by staining with solutions of polar aromatic cations such as acridine orange, ethidium bromide, and prophyllene. Okay, these are the solutions of polar planar aromatic cations, and if you stain the gel with this solution, then you can see DNA molecule on the gel. Okay, so the solutions of polar aromatic cations such as acridine orange, ethidium bromide, and prophyllene serve as stain for the visibility of DNA molecules on the gel. Now, ethidium bromide is a molecule that becomes intercalated between the stacked bases of a DNA molecule. Okay, it becomes intercalated between the stacked bases of the DNA molecule. Now, soaking a DNA containing gel with ethidium bromide will result in the concentration of this chemical within the DNA. Okay, ethidium bromide will intercalate in the DNA of the gel. Now, illumination of this soaked gel in the ultraviolet light, that is between 260 to 300 nanometer, will fluoresce the ethidium bromide, and DNA will be seen on the gel as a band of fluorescence of orange color. Okay, so there is illumination of the soaked gel with ultraviolet light, and the ethidium bromide that has been bound to the DNA, that will illuminate, and that is how the DNA will illuminate as a band of fluorescence on the gel. Now, molecular weight of a DNA in each band can be determined by the distance of band from the origin. Okay, by determining the distance of that particular band from the origin, you can determine its molecular weight. Now, the equation which gives the relation between the molecular weight and the distance traveled is D is equal to A minus B into log M, where A is the time of electrophoresis and B is the buffer and gel concentration. Okay, so the distance traveled is equal to time of electrophoresis minus the buffer and gel concentration multiplied by the log of molecular weight. Okay, so this equation, by using this equation, you can determine the molecular weight of a particular DNA molecule in the band. So the molecular weight can be obtained from the plot of D versus log M, as long as at least two values of M are known. Okay, so the molecular weight can be obtained from the plot of D versus log M. Tracking dye. Now let's discuss about tracking dye. The most common mean of monitoring the process of electrophoretic separation is to follow the migration of tracking dye that has been incorporated into the loading buffer. You incorporate the tracking dye into the loading buffer, and by following the migration of tracking dye, you monitor the progress of electrophoresis separation. Now, these are the two widely used dyes that we use as a tracking dye, and they have different electrophoretic mobility. One of them is bromophenol blue and the other one is xylene cyanol. Okay, so bromophenol blue and the xylene cyanol are the two most widely used tracking dyes, and both of them have different electrophoretic mobility. The dyes migrate at a specific speed in a given gel concentration and usually run ahead of the smallest fragment of the DNA. Okay, dye have a specific speed in a particular gel concentration, and this tracking dye will be ahead of the smallest DNA fragment, and that is how it should be. Now this tracking dye do not associate with the sample DNA, and this tracking dye also don't affect the separation of the sample DNA. So the tracking dye movement is monitored, and when this tracking dye reaches the end of the gel, that is the desired distance, the electrophoresis is terminated. Okay, the tracking dye movement is monitored, and when it reaches to the end of the gel, that is the desired distance, the electrophoresis is terminated. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.